Hi there, I wanted to show you a few quick tools in Photoshop that might make your work on your project go a little easier. Now, Photoshop is a huge program, and obviously if you know Photoshop, you know that there's many different ways to do things. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I use that makes my workflow easier. First thing I wanted to show you is how to get rid of blemishes and how to get rid of certain spots on photographs and how to touch up photographs. So on the left-hand side of my setup is my tools menu, and I've undocked it so that I can just move it anywhere I want while I'm working. This is the magnification tool or the zoom tool, and I can zoom in or I can zoom out on this picture. And what I'm doing to zoom out is I'm holding down Command and the minus button. But in any case, let's take a look at how we can get rid of some of these blemishes. I'm going to use a great tool that's called the SpotHealing tool. And one thing I want to point out about the toolbar is if there's a little arrow at the bottom right corner of each of these tools, it'll show you that there are more choices. So if you hold down the brush tool, for example, there's the pencil tool, or the color replacement tool, or the mixer brush tool. So take some time to explore just the toolbar, and you'll find that you have so much more choice. But for what I'm doing right now, I'm going to get the SpotHealing tool. It's a little tool that has a Band-Aid on it. And I'm going to come up here on my top of my menu, and I'm going to hold down the brushes menu. And on the brushes menu, I can set up the size. I can also set up how hard it is or how soft it is. So if the hardness is set to 100%, it's going to give me a very hard edge effect. And if I turn the hardness down to 0, I'm going to get a very smooth brush. So, and that's what I want. And then I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to start painting on her face, and my brush is probably a little small for this. So what's interesting about the SpotHealing tool is it just averages the pixels around the area I'm working and smooths them out, like this little fever blemish or canker sore that's on her lip. And I could make this brush even bigger and take a larger approach. This is taking a little while to average. So this is using super sampling. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to just stop and we're going to move on. But obviously this is a really great way to clean up a picture. The other thing I wanted to show you is let's use, you know what, I don't like that last one. The other thing that we can use here is the clone brush, which is a little different than the spot tool. And if I hold down the option button, what the clone brush will do is it will clone one section onto another. For example, I want to add a little more lip to this area. So now it's cloning the area right next to it and filling in more lip. So you have to hold down the option button to define an area on the clone brush. It's a stamp, and then you can draw with it. So the last thing I want to do here is I'm going to go up to the area in Photoshop that's called Liquify. And this is kind of a fun, quick trick here. And now I'm in a window where I want to change her smile. So I'm thinking that I can pull up things on her mouth and give her a little bit more of a smile just by pulling on this. Okay, and when I like it, I hit OK. And now it's going to process it. So that would be how to do touch-up. Obviously, we could sit here for the next half hour and just smooth out her complexion, but you can see where I'm going with this.